Hi again, folks. It's Mike and Atoka from DFW Auto Recon Pro. And today I'm going to answer a question I get asked quite often. What is auto recon? Well, let me start by telling you what it's not. It does not mean automatic reconnaissance, and it's certainly not some sort of robot that spies on you and infringes on your privacy. Auto recon is short for automotive reconditioning. And in the world of dealerships and auto auctions, it's a mandatory part of their process to prep a car for sale. I've been a paintless dent repair technician for about 26 years. I specialize in the big stuff that would otherwise need paint and body work. Out here in Texas, we get quite a bit of hail, so I spend most of my summers repairing hail-damaged vehicles. A lot of the peer shops that I have around me use me for some of the larger repair stuff. In most cases, we make the process entirely free if you have the right coverage. We also offer wheel repair. We can fix that curb rash. We can take care of just about anything that your wheel might need, provided it's not bent. We also offer full detailing services, paint correction, buffing, polishing, touch-up work, scratch repair. We do a lot of minor collision work as well. We can take care of all the hassles of dealing with your insurance company and get your car back on the road. We specialize in total loss prevention as well. So when you're trying to leave your insurance company out, if you have a car that has a lot of sentimental value, like this one that was pictured here, we can work with your budget to get it fixed right, make it safe, and get you back on the road. In some cases, we can restore headlights. We can get them buffed and polished out, make them look pretty again. We also do a lot of interior repair. If you have broken panels or if your interior needs detailing, we can take care of that as well. Any flood damage or water damage, stains, we're happy to help. We also offer chip repair, rock chip repair on your windshield, as well as full replacement. Our service also calibrates ADAS systems. And finally, we offer pre and post scans. If you've got a check engine light or you've got codes that need to be diagnosed, we can take care of that as well. After working for many different companies over the last 26 years and unfortunately experiencing more cons than pros, I decided to open up my own shop. About 8 years ago, I started this company to provide my clients a one-stop shop for everything that their car needs to be as close to showroom quality as possible. And we've been doing great ever since. So here's a typical vehicle that comes into our shop. This is from one of our wholesale accounts. It's a 2014 Dodge Caravan. As you can see, there's some bumper damage here. The clear coat is peeling off of the hood and off of a few other panels. So when these vehicles come in, what we'll do is a quick walk around on the vehicle and assess all of the damage that we think a potential buyer is going to be concerned about. So as I do my walk around, my strategy is to act as though I'm the one that's buying this car. What about this vehicle is cosmetically unappealing? Well, as you can see, this roof rail has some missing clear coat. The fender definitely has some missing clear coat. This driver's door, same issue. The running board is broken, needs to be replaced and repainted. There's some touch-up work that needs to be done, a couple of door dings. This rear bumper is in really bad shape. The step pad chrome strip is peeling back, a lot of wear and tear on it. Scratches were pretty severe. I actually found a cheap used bumper, OEM, definitely more cost effective than buying brand new. It was a similar color, so it was easy to repaint. As you can see, the headlights could use a little buffing and polishing just to clear them up. Now that the walk around is complete and we've presented this to our wholesale client, they'll basically give us approval for almost everything that we've suggested. We're going to fix the front bumper. We're going to fix that hinge pillar here. We're going to replace and repaint that running board. We're going to replace this rear bumper Again, I found a used OEM bumper, a similar color, much more cost effective, and as far as cycle time is concerned, it makes more sense to replace it with something that's in better condition. So now we're going to map out where to begin with this car. And in my opinion, the best place to start is the front bumper. So let's start with the front bumper. Get it off the car, get it up on the stand, sand everything down with 600 grit sandpaper and assess that dent in the center. Once I had a chance to get it up close and personal, I realized there was a tear inside of it. But before I decided to cure that tear, what I wanted to do was fix the dent. So at this point, what I'm going to do is heat up that plastic. I'm going to use a metal dolly. Get that plastic nice and hot. Use that metal dolly to reshape that plastic flat and push the dent out until it makes a level surface with the existing area around it. And then what I'm going to do is use a wet rag with cold water. And believe it or not, that cold water will lock in that repair pretty easily. So after trying to reshape that plastic, trying to get that dent as level as possible, I epoxied the tear from behind with some JB Weld plastic repair. And I decided at this point, we're safe enough to lay down a nice layer of Bondo on this. So I slacked on a big old chunk of Bondo because even though the dent was the size of a golf ball, it was actually a lot larger than what was clearly visible. And while I was waiting for the Bondo to cure and dry, I sanded down the hood with 220 grit to get rid of all the old clear coat and primered this hood. So in order to make this video as short as possible, I'll try to explain this as quickly as I can. As the Bondo is curing, as the primer is curing on my hood, I went ahead and shot the rear bumper and brought it all the way to clear coat. Came out really well. Decided to put it in the office just to keep it out of the elements and give it some time to air dry before I do the installation on it. Looks really nice. It was a used bumper, definitely cheaper than buying OEM. And in the process of waiting for it to cure, I sanded down the primer on the hood. I applied primer to the front bumper. So we're gonna have to sand that down, get it level and prep for paint. And now I'm getting ready to do the installation of the rear bumper. Got the rear bumper installed, and now we're off to the base coat for the front bumper. Just finished the base coat on the front bumper here and finished the base coat on the hood as well. There's a really nice and pretty gold metallic in this paint, and the base coat came out really nice on this. Got good coverage. Please don't laugh at my spray booth, but you'll see here the maybe a couple of dry spots on this front bumper that I actually went back after it, sanded it down with a 1000 grit. I saw a little contour mapping in my repair work where my Bondo was, so I decided to cut that down with 1000 grit and reshoot this, give it another coat before I decided to add the clear. But ultimately, it's starting to look really nice. I have that running board that I need to paint that was just delivered us to today, so I'm going to reshoot this front bumper and see what happens. In the meantime, I decided to lay down the clear coat on the hood. I was pretty happy with the base coat on the hood, and I went after what is usually my arch nemesis. Clear coat and I have a hard time getting along together, but for some weird reason, this clear coat came out gorgeous. I was really pleased with this. I recently purchased some new guns from Harbor Freight, and these are this is the Spectrum HTE. This is, I think, a 1.3 nozzle. The atomization on this is phenomenal. It makes a beginner look like a novice, and it makes a novice look like a pro. And I am super happy with this gun. As much as I'm happy with the result that it gave me, I think I've got probably 3 coats on this hood. I did, like I said, the running board needed the base coat. I redid the base coat on the front bumper, and you probably can't really see from this video, but the contour mapping of my Bondo work is literally invisible. There might be a slight wave to it, but for a 2014 Dodge Caravan, I mean, who's going to be that judgmental? Anyway, I'm really pleased with the way all of this laid out. I think once it's on the car, it's going to look phenomenal. So now we're going to wait for these panels to dry, and we're going to attack these other spot repairs that we were dealing with. And I decided to do a lot of this work outside since my shop is small and my spray booth is extremely small, and I have a lot of panels that are freshly painted. So we sanded down this roof rail here. We sanded down that driver's door, and we're getting ready to reapply the base coat and give it a new clear coat. And we're probably going to end up having to blend the fender, and we're more than likely going to have to end up blending the entire driver's door. And as you dig deeper into this video, you'll realize I had to chase this blend almost all the way down one side of the car. Before we get too deep into this, I just want to officially disclose that I am not formally trained, nor am I certified as a paint and body man. I wouldn't call myself a beginner. I'd maybe say I'm an intermediate. I know quite a bit. I've been around enough to understand how the process is supposed to look and how it is supposed to be performed. And in this case, I've got the car in here. I've got it bagged up. It's definitely not pretty. My masking job is, well, it's effective, but it's, again, certainly not pretty. So we're getting ready to blend the fenders, which I did here. Got the clear coat laid down, blended the fenders. I did full color up on the top of the roof rail and on the top of the door, a full clear coat down at the bottom of the door. I'm pointing to some runs that I'm not happy with, not only on the door, but also on the front fender here. There's one that's kind of hard to see here, but you'll see my thumbs down and a fish eye that's down here near the wheel arch that I'm not all that thrilled with. Pretty good at cutting and buffing. I was able to knock those out, but I blended both fenders. Since we painted the hood, we painted the front bumper. It seemed necessary for me to blend the fenders. The driver's side, you'll see here in a minute, became a challenge for me because I blended in this area, and what we noticed was, well, as you can see here, a mismatch. Those panels did not match. This is a 2014 Dodge Caravan, a lot of sun damage, a lot of oxidation. So at my own expense, I went ahead and blended in those two panels that I'm pointing at there. Just because if I was buying this car and I saw a car that didn't have matching paint, I'd be a little concerned. So I didn't charge the customer for this, but I went ahead and polished out these headlights, blended those panels in, buffed and polished everything out. I buffed and polished this entire side. There probably couldn't have seen it at the beginning of this video, but there was a paint transfer that went from one end to the other. Not sure what they ran into. A lot of surface scratches all over the car that I buffed out. I was really proud of the way that this vehicle was coming to fruition here, and decided to really lock in the job with putting in the extra effort and doing things that I guess you'd say I just wasn't paid for. So I'm really happy with this car, and regardless of compensation financially for it, to me, I appreciate the fact that this account gives me the opportunity to practice and hone my skills, and through trial and error, give them the best product that I possibly can. In comparison to when this car first came in here, as opposed to when it was picked up, night and day difference. I mean, this car looks brand new. I painted this lower grille with some trim paint just to add to the pop of the front end of this. We blended those fenders, we polished the headlights, painted the hinge pillar, painted the top of that door. We blended this door, replaced and repainted that running board, blended the rear door, blended the top of the rear door, replaced and repainted the rear bumper. We buffed out the massive transfer that was running east to west on this vehicle. We're still waiting on that other running board. And ultimately, I'm extremely proud of this repair. In comparison to when it first showed up here, and the amount of effort that I put into, whether I was paid for it or not, was reward enough for me. And I'm really pleased with this car. If you guys are interested in learning more or scheduling an appointment for a free inspection, hit us up, dfwarp.com. Thanks for watching.